Hey there, y'all. I'm Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, where for the next 30-ish, 45-hour, who knows, we're going to be hanging out. And tonight we're going to be sharing stories about wild ones. Now, these wild ones can be anybody. They can be a partner, they can be a best friend, anybody, anything, anything goes tonight, y'all. And I want to make a special introduction to my own very wild one back there, David the producer.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How's my handsome producer man tonight?
It's a happy Monday evening. At least I think it is. I don't know. Nothing bad happened yet to the stream, so I think we're good.
I know, we've actually done this a couple of times in a row where nothing blew up or broke down or did anything bad. So I think we're all right, knock on chair.
Knock on chair.
We got a couple people hanging out with us already tonight, which is always a good thing. I want to give a shout out to my friend Ginger, who is here and hopefully feeling better. Also got Wendell Live hanging out with us. So y'all, thanks for joining me. And if you are just laying back there, lurking, say hello and, join the conversation because we got cool stuff to talk about tonight. But first, I got bourbon.
Do you see what Wendell has?
What does Wendell have? He's drinking Maker's Mark 46. I love it. Good choice. I went to their distillery in Kentucky. Gosh, what was it, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, pretty close.
Something like that. So cool. I got to dip my own bottle. They let you, dip the bottle in the wax and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we dipped a few bottles.
I see we've got John joining us. Hello. Thanks for being here tonight. And I was just about to talk about the bourbon that is in my glass. I'm drinking Russell's Reserve 10-year bourbon. It is from the Wild Turkey Distillery, and it's kind of a small batch special release from them. It is delicious. It is awesome. So y'all, what do you say? Whatever you've got in your hand, I don't care, water, a cookie, just raise it up and let's say cheers, y'all.
Water or a cookie?
Shut up, I like cookies. I see Cardoso Media just joined us. How you doing tonight? I'm glad you're here. We're going to be talking about wild ones, and it's only fitting tonight that I start off by acknowledging probably the wildest person in my life, and that would have been my girlfriend, Crazy Town. Oh, she was a character.
Do you ever tell the backstory of Crazy Town?
Well,
She's batshit nuts.
She and I met when we were teenagers at a party. She held my hair and pulled a giant python off of me, which is another story in itself, which we'll get to another day. My guy just about spit out his bourbon at that.
Just about.
Oh, hey, I see somebody's drinking Sam Adams. John, nice choice. I'm not quite a beer gal, but if I do reach for a beer, it's going to be Sam Adams for sure.
That's true. Or if you're in a very tropical place, you may do a Corona every now and again.
I will occasionally do a Corona. So, we're talking Crazy Town right now. She was a wild maniac, just drop dead gorgeous chick. I mean, the hottest girl I've ever known in my entire life, and she was my best friend for a very long time. And wow, I feel like occasionally I like to exploit her hotness because she was so useful. This was back when I was just getting started as a music journalist. And occasionally, having a business card and credentials wasn't quite enough to get backstage to meet the bands that I wanted. So I used her. She would come with me and pose as my photographer, and she'd have her boobs out, and she would just be flirty enough to get us backstage. And it was always really, well, it was useful because not only did she get us backstage, but she really would endear us to the bands. Because although I liked dating the bands, Crazy Town just liked everything with the bands. This was just her thing. So we went to see this 180s band at Great America, which is our...
You have to explain what Great America is.
I'm about to. It is our local Six Flags theme park. So we're talking roller coasters galore. And I went, and, the two of us, armed with our, charm, talked our way backstage to interview the band. And it turns out the band had a private tour scheduled of the theme park, which gave them private access to all the rides and everything after they played. And this was after hours. So he's like, hey, or the singer is like, hey, do you gals want to, join us? And Crazy Town, of course, is like, well, hell yeah, we do. And I'm thinking, whoa, this may not be such a good idea. And here's why. She and I didn't have a ride home. We'd actually gone to this show with some friends of ours. And the second they saw that we were going to be heading out with a band for something that they weren't invited to, I knew they were going to ditch us. But Crazy Town didn't care. This was just her. The way that she thought, anything could happen, and she'd just ride it out. You know me, I'm a little bit of a planner. I mean, I'm also a nutcase too, but I like to have an escape plan. I like to have a backup and know that I have somewhere to land that's preferably not in jail. So she's like, no, don't worry about it, sweetheart. We're all good. And she just had this way of charming me. She'd look at me, she'd be like, oh, here, let me brush your hair out of your face for you. Okay, you're pretty and we're going to do this and it's going to be fun and you're going to have the time of your life and I'll take care of us. And that won me over every single goddamn time. So I said, all right, Crazy Town, we'll do this. Now, here's my story. I hate roller coasters. I hate, loathe, despise, and abominate roller coasters so hard. They're just painful to me. I'm just not that kind of gal. I don't like the ups and downs. I don't like the upside downs, all of it. It's not my thing. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll just go, I'll hang out with them, and when it comes time to get on a ride, I'll just politely decline and say, see you on the other side. But no, the band wasn't going to have that. They're like, if you're coming out with us, you're coming on the rides too. And I kept saying, no, guys, I'm telling you, it's not going to work out well. I've got asthma, I know that I'm panicky in situations like that. And I'm like, please don't do this to me. So we get to this one roller coaster, and I think it was called the American Eagle.
Yeah, the all-wooden roller coaster.
The all-wooden American Eagle, and it's got one of those giant drops at the very beginning of it. And it's totally not my kind of ride at all. But I say, I'm not going on it. And they say, sure you are. And I go, no, I'm not. And they said, yes, you are. So we're up at the boarding dock, and there's nobody else. It's just us and the park employees. And they start chanting, you want it. You know you want it. You're going to ride this, and you're going to love it. And this was a time when it was totally okay to tell a girl, you know you want it, grab her, and then put her on a ride. And I'm screaming, no, I don't want to do this. And my loving girlfriend, the one who said, I'll take care of everything, you'll be fine, she was in on it too. She's like, oh, hey, this will be awesome. You're going to love it. So I get buckled into the seat, and I'm sitting next to the guitar player, who was just a smoking hot dude. Really, really just hot 80s guy. And he's like, oh, you're going to love this. And he's getting all like chummy with me and putting his hand on my leg. He's like, oh, well, if, you get scared, you can just hold on to me. And I go, dude, that's not what this is going to be. You haven't seen scared like this. And he's like, oh, no, it'll be fine. So the ride starts off. We're going up and up and up. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And I can't control my breathing. And I start to just get really lightheaded the second we got up to that very steep incline. And then all hell just broke loose. So the ride goes down, and I swear to God, I saw the Grim Reaper standing in front of me, and it's zipping around, and I got so uncomfortable, and my heart started pounding so fast that I passed out on the ride. And I didn't come to until they pulled me off the ride and carried me back to their tour bus.
What's the matter with you?
How could I know that was going to happen?
That's true.
I had no control over this. So I wake up, and there's 4 very concerned hairband guys leaning over me. My obnoxious wild girlfriend looking over at me all concerned, like, oh my God, is she dead? And that's what they're all thinking. They're like, oh God, local journalist dies in our tour bus. That's not going to help album sales.
You became a liability.
I was a hardcore liability. So they're like, okay, well, now that you're better, now you can sit up, here's some water. And why don't you girls just go now? But here's how my girlfriend was just genius. I'm still dazed, right? I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So she takes control of the situation, and she pulls the tour manager aside. She goes, listen, dude, you're going to drive us home, or I'm going to tell everybody that you pulled underage girls onto a roller coaster and almost killed one of them. And he's like, oh my God. And we weren't underage, but it made for a good story. He's like, oh my God, well, we can't have that. He's like, where do you live? So she gives him her address, and it's about an hour away from the theme park. And we pulled up to her parents' house at 1 o'clock in the morning in a gigantic tour bus on her little suburban street. And we got off, and she says, baby, I will never make you go on a roller coaster again. And I said, thank you, Crazy Town.
She's an interesting one. And
She
she is hot.
is.
I will vouch that girl is hot.
Oh, such a hottie. Now, we're not in communication anymore now, but...
Oh, but I saw pictures.
Oh, there are photos. Now, I see we've got some stories going on in the chat here.
You have to read Ginger's.
Okay, so
Right
I
at the
see
top.
Ginger says, my 21st birthday, my version of Crazy Town, got us kicked out of the bar from sucking some dude's dick in the bathroom. Oh, shame on you.
Now, my question is, I'm unclear if they both did it or if it was just her
Oh, yeah. Was
girlfriend
this a
that did
joint
it.
effort?
A joint effort or single shooter scenario?
Wow. Now I see John says the hottest girl I ever met. I dated for over a year. She's married to her girlfriend. She met right after me.
Yeah, that's a
Oh.
bummer. That's
Oh,
a
I'm
big bummer.
sorry to hear that, but that's probably good for her, right? I mean,
It's better you know now than 10 years in the future, right?
unless she's into threesomes.
Well, that's a whole nother episode.
Well, I mean, we are talking wild ones.
Well, that's next week. Threesomes.
Threesomes. Oh, hey, there's a fun idea.
I'll take over the show. Don't worry.
Oh, well now, David the producer, it sounds like you have some stories to tell.
Hey, Fred just joined us.
Oh, hey, Fred's here. Fred, oh, I'm glad you're here. You just missed a story about how I passed out on a roller coaster with my crazy girlfriend and 4 guys from my hairband. I know.
Yeah, it's another Wednesday for you.
Well, it kind of was. Oh, Ginger says, just my friend. Oh, she was already with her guy by then. So you were just an innocent observer
So you just got kicked out for her bad behavior.
by proxy. That is, that's the thing about having that crazy partner. You always wind up kicked out with them. You wind up on the ground and just, out of commission.
And we have Mike just joined us from the Creator Spotlight Show.
Oh, I am so glad you made it, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, and I did call up Fred, didn't I?
You did call up
Okay,
Fred.
I thought I did.
Okay, I think we
Just
got
wanna make
people
sure.
covered.
That's
I think
awesome.
we're all right. Cardoso says that his wife won't go on rides, so you go on by yourself. That's the only way you can do it. I mean, truly, when you hate roller coasters, there's no making it okay. It's just sucky. It just is.
And I like Ginger's idea. We're going to make that threesomes episode. That'll be our Christmas special.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Nothing says Christmas like,
Tis the season.
threesomes.
Exactly.
Tis the season to give.
Give and get, and then get again.
So
That's the beauty.
while we're acknowledging everybody in the chat, and I'm sweating like I fucking stole something up here. I'm so sorry, guys. It's hot in here.
It's because our air conditioning went out.
Fuck. We might actually turn that fan on. The sound be damned.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
No, we won't. I look like I'm drowning.
You're fine.
All right. So anyway, I was going to say, now that we're hanging out with y'all and we've got some chatting going on, I want to remind you that go to Twitter and post a photo of yourself. Hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live. Now, last week, Ginger made us a little treat in honor of David the producer, who managed to kill a whole pool of stingrays with one single glance.
It says, David, how could you kill all my brethren?
David is the stingray slayer. So thank you for that, Ginger. And I believe you added on a little codicil saying that you owe him a drink for that.
Oh, yeah. Is there cocktails involved?
Yeah, so
I like that.
We're going to try and cash in on that sometime.
Dig that.
But
All right.
otherwise, y'all, post a photo of yourself and post it up on Twitter with hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live so that we can all, hang out and see each other. And next week, I will share it on the show. Whew, so what are y'all drinking tonight? I got Russell's, and it's doing very little to cool me down.
I have larceny, which, matter of fact, I need to get a little bit of a refill here. So you go ahead and do what you do, and I'll go do what I need to do.
Oh, my producer's leaving the scene.
Yeah.
Let's all talk about him.
He's fleeing the scene.
He's fleeing. Ginger says he's been the butt of a few drinks. I'll definitely buy him a drink. I am sure he will take you up on that, Ginger. Now, I would be remiss, y'all, if I didn't include the jackass in my episode about wild ones. He is a musician that I dated and a bona fide rock star of the worst kind. Just crazy to insane heights. I mean, the kind of person who is destructive for the pure joy of seeing things fall apart around him. And I really don't even know why I dated him, other than the fact that he was incredibly attractive and he was exciting in certain respects.
Oh, were you talking about me? I just got back. Sorry.
No, I was talking about Jackass.
Oh, okay.
So I decided, speaking of, holidays, I decided I was going to invite him over to my family's house one evening so he could hang out with my parents and they would get to know him. And it would be this beautiful little, Beaver Cleaver kind of scene. Only he came over and he was already hammered. I mean, like rock star drunk, just slurring his words. He could barely stand up. And I'm thinking, well, we got to do something that is easy to do, something that doesn't require him to really think much or say much. So I'm like, well, why don't we all play a card game? We'll play War. I mean, that's simple, right? So I'm playing War with my dad, my mom, Jackass, and me. And he keeps nodding off during the game. He can't even hold his head up. And we're playing this and he's got a coffee mug full of Jim Beam, just knocking it back like you wouldn't believe. And finally, he's just so loopy that his head drops onto the table. Right there in the middle of the card game, just boom, passes out on my kitchen table with my parents watching. My parents had never quite seen anything like this, but to their credit, they were very graceful about it. My dad gets up and he says, well, I think I'll go make some coffee right now. And my mother, who's a genius at getting digs in whenever she can, she looks at me and she goes, dear, could you move his head? He's drooling on my tablecloth.
Hey, good news is I never did that at your parents' home.
No, you didn't. But this story gets worse. So I wake him up and I say, dude, you got to get your shit together now, or I swear to God, I'm kicking you outside. And he's like, okay, cool. I got it. He disappears into the bathroom. He's in there for about 10 minutes or so. And when he comes out, it is clear by the way he's, doing one of these things, that he has just done cocaine in my parents' bathroom.
Class act.
He is a class act. He really was. He's so jacked up now on coke that he's just talking a mile a minute. And then, now my dad is a musician as well. So my dad has this wall of classic guitars. And Jackass sees them and he goes, oh my God. He's like, I gotta play you a song. So he grabs a 1957 Martin off the wall, which is,
Martin acoustic guitars are thousands of dollars. Yes. Well, for the good ones like your dad had.
Yeah, well, he grabs it off the wall and he says, oh my God, I gotta play you the new album. Now, let me explain something. One, Jackass is a drummer, not a guitar player. But apparently he thought he was one.
Oops.
So he starts strumming out chords and he starts singing. And my parents look at me and they're like, are you kidding me? I mean, this is what you bring home. We're so proud, sweetheart. And he's just railing. I mean, he's just strumming and singing some ridiculous song about being aliens. And finally, he comes to a stop and he's all into the music and everything. And he's like, yeah. And he didn't have a strap on, so he dropped the guitar on the ground. Not on carpeting, but on a nice tile floor. And he had done something very bad. He chipped the headstock on my dad's Martin.
Yeah, you can have that fixed, but you always want to keep those original. So
yeah, well, he realizes, right, that this is bad. So he's still Gorkle on cocaine. He's like, okay, I'm going to go now. And then he leaves me there to clean up his mess. It was just beautiful.
I meant to ask you, did your dad ever make you pay for that or make him pay for it or just sucked it up and took it as a loss?
No, my dad knew it wasn't entirely my fault. It was my fault for bringing the Jackass home, but I had no control over him once he, snorted back a good gram worth of coke. So.
There's no such thing as a good gram worth of coke.
Yeah, so that was my wild one, the jackass.
So why don't you remind everyone what this episode's about?
Well, we're talking about wild ones, y'all. So if you have a story about a wild one, could be a person, could be, I don't know, an animal. Hey,
Friend, a
a
coworker.
friend, coworker, anybody who's done something wild in your life, share the story in the chat, and we'll have a little conversation about it.
Nothing makes me happier than complete wild stories. I don't know what it is.
Well, what do you have over there, David, the producer?
What do I have for wild
Didn't you get
stories?
chased around a car by a chick with a knife?
Oh, I did.
You did?
Yeah, that wasn't a wild one. That was more like a batshit crazy one. But I'll go wild one. I'll go wild one.
Is there a difference?
Not much of one. So you know that when I was 18 years old, I was signed to a record label. I was traveling around the country, touring with my band, right? And we were in Chadron, Nebraska. I'll never forget this because, who goes to Chadron, Nebraska other than this guy?
Musicians.
Right. So we got booked at an outdoor festival. It was just a complete nightmare. Nightmare show. Great show, but just a nightmare all the way around it.
Sure.
So how it all started was we did the show. There were a whole bunch of people backstage, just like at any concert.
Well, and she was a groupie, wasn't she?
Well, she came backstage. She got backstage passes.
Right.
We didn't give them to her, but someone obviously did.
Right.
And we weren't just the only band on the bill. So it was us, it was Night Ranger, and then there was a third act that opened up for us, and I can't remember who they were.
So what did you do to her that made her chase you around a car?
It was absolutely nothing. All I did was play the show, went backstage, met a whole bunch of people, and then we all got back into a bus and then went back to the hotel. Well, a couple of groups of girls followed the bus.
That's what we do.
And went back to the hotel. And
did you forsake her for somebody else?
I don't know. No. I it wasn't that I picked anyone over anyone else, but she came. We started talking as a matter of fact, we were staying at this Holodome, a Holiday Inn Holodome.
Nothing says classy like a Holodome.
Right? Yeah, you could tell how well we were doing on the road.
Right.
So we're at the bar and we're talking, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy comes up and it turns out to be her boyfriend.
Oh, it was a boyfriend.
Oh, it was a total boyfriend. And then he literally starts yelling at me right at the bar. I walk away. I go outside and I have a cigarette. And then he comes out. He flashes a knife. And then all of a sudden, he's chasing me around a car like the frickin' Three Stooges. So I'd go one way. He'd follow me. I'd go another way. He'd follow me.
So did he ever catch you?
No, security came out finally. Somebody
broke it
called
up.
security and broke it up finally. But I'm like... And the girl actually who stayed, and they made him leave the premises, like right there in the parking lot.
Right.
I went back in. She's still sitting at the bar. Like, didn't even
Just
come
casual.
outside.
Huh.
Yeah, like she saw him follow me out.
I feel like something happened in there that either you didn't know or like she was with another guy in the band maybe and she just pinned it on you.
All I know is that guy thought that I was totally screwing this chick.
It's so funny. Crazy Town was a master at challenging people with weapons. She did something very similar to what he did. She had a corkscrew bottle opener, and she lunged at another girl with it. I mean, just right out. And she used to carry a switchblade. Oh my God. And my favorite thing that she ever did was when we were strippers, she had that switchblade.
Oh, don't glaze over that fact.
I've already told this story. And I'll repeat it because I love that she had the switchblade stitched into the back of her corset. And when some chick interrupted this private party that we were dancing at, she whips it out. Like, just so badass. Like she was in a gang or something. It was beautiful. I was so proud and terrified at the same time. She was a treat.
You're talking about the same woman who would throw shoes at people in the front yard, so.
True. She did that. She also, so I have a girlfriend named Texas. And she and I were friends. Oh, she and I are still friends, actually, to this day. But we were friends at the same time that I was friends with Crazy Town. And the two of them hated each other so much. I mean, just this visceral hatred of each other. And I thought it would be a really good idea to get everybody together, to make peace between the three of us so that we could all hang out and have good times. And neither of them wanted any part of it. So I planned this big dinner. We went to Benihana's, like it was prom or something. And the two of them, just Texas and Crazy Town, were glaring at each other the whole night. And they were both doing their best to just be total bitches. Crazy Town is getting drunk and flirting with somebody's dad over at another table. Texas is trying to demonstrate how smart she is. So she's, trying to evaluate the wine and talking about living in Australia for a summer. So they're both just at odds. And finally, we're all in the parking lot. And I don't remember what Crazy Town said, but Texas hauled off and slugged her right in the face. I've never seen another girl punch somebody like this. And I didn't even know Texas knew how to punch, but she decks Crazy Town and just sends her right down on the ground. It was beautiful. Just beautiful. Girl fights are fun.
Well, you going to fill your glass again?
I am, because I'm thirsty and it's hot.
And tell everyone what you're drinking again.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm drinking Russell's Reserve Bourbon. It's a 10-year bourbon from the Wild Turkey family. It's delightful.
It's really good, especially for the price point. How much is that a bottle? Do you remember?
Oh, it's about $40 a bottle.
It's a good price for a great bourbon.
It really is. It's very easy to drink. The 10 years give it a very nice oakiness, but it still has that Wild Turkey spice to it. So you just get this really perfect combination of flavors. I love it. What are y'all drinking?
What's everyone drinking tonight?
I noticed Recycle Dude earlier says that he sticks to Pepsi instead of Coke, which...
He drinks Franzia.
it.
Don't let him fool you. He knows Franzia is his drink of choice. But we're going to have to get him on bourbon sometime.
And it is very nice to see you here, Recycle Dude. And I swear I saw Jenny somewhere in here, but I could be wrong. I see Wesley is drinking Old Forester, which is always delicious.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, I am. I had the Prohibition Old Forester not too long ago, and I really enjoyed their Statesman release. And I was kind of skeptical because it was themed after the Kingsman movie, but it was still excellent. Always good stuff.
You want to remind everyone of Bourbon Soaked Live?
I do.
The hashtag?
So what I want y'all to do, get your phone, snap a photo of yourself drinking and doing whatever it is that you're doing while you're watching tonight's show, and then post it on Twitter with the hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live. Next week, we'll show it, and hey, it'll be a blast, right? And I want to see who y'all are. I mean, you can't really tell from these little avatars. I don't really know who I'm talking to. So show me who you are.
Well, we know Wes from Twitter.
Oh, we do. That's right. I
Wes
didn't
from
make that
Twitter.
connection.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow tonight.
How's Wes doing?
Richie Z is drinking Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. Oh,
Man.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
I love the Michter's, and that Barrel Strength is just hardcore. I love it.
Get those pictures snapped. Get them on hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. Put them on Twitter, and we'll feature them next week.
My producer's so efficient tonight.
I do what I do.
Oh, Fred, I know. You're driving. It stinks. Well, hey, do the do, right?
Hey, you don't have to do the alcohol right now. Wait till you hit a hotel or hit back home, and then
it's always waiting for you.
It's always waiting for you.
Always. So, what do you say there, William? Wild Ones. A family elder had an irresponsible boyfriend. He had a vendetta and put firework mortars under his enemy's car and blew it up. Are you sure he wasn't a good fella?
Yeah. And that's that.
That is some serious felony shit right there. I mean, I've seen people punched. I've seen people kicked out of bars. I saw Tommy Lee knock a bus door open with a baseball bat, but I've never seen anybody blow up a car. That's next level shit right there. I'm kind of impressed. Yep. Nice.
And Wes wants to know, what is your staple bourbon?
Ah, my staple bourbon. For every day, just, hanging out on the driveway, I typically go to Larceny. I think that has the best, most easily enjoyable flavor. It's kind of a step up from Maker's Mark. So it's a wheated bourbon. It's very flavorful, but it's still light.
Standard Makers, like we had
just
early on,
the standard release
like
from
Makers
Makers.
46 is actually
no,
way
that's a
above
different
Standard
release.
Makers,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right, that's good stuff right there.
Richie Z says you don't have a Twitter. I'm sorry. I don't have a Facebook.
Twitter.
I canned Facebook a long time ago. I fucking hate Facebook.
Well, you know what? We do accept carrier pigeons with Bourbon Soaked Live.
Owls? Can you send an owl?
You send an owl.
Now, I've been telling stories about, the jackass that I dated, my girlfriend Crazy Town, and now I want to tell a little story about my guy.
Oh, you're gonna tell one about me?
I am. Yeah, because you were kind of my wild one. I mean, you're certainly not as wild or, unhinged as these others were, but
I certainly don't have any cocaine stories.
no.
Except for the time I did offer it to my mother once.
Oh, that's right. You were dating a stripper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
That's different.
We'll hold off on that one.
This is more mischievous, let's say.
Okay. No, I'm all ears. I'm dying to know which one you're going to tell.
You have a certain shirt that I hate.
I love that shirt. That is my favorite shirt.
Hate this shirt with a passion. It's like something a frat boy would wear. And let me describe it to you, if you don't mind.
Do you want me to get it?
Oh my God, do you know where it is?
I have it hanging up in my closet. Are you
go get
crazy?
it. You need to get it.
All right. You tell
Y'all,
the story, I'll
okay,
get it.
so I will tell the story without revealing what the shirt says. He knows I hate the shirt. And one day we decide we're going to go out for breakfast. So he's dressed normally. He's wearing jeans. He's got a hoodie zipped up. And we head on over to the restaurant. And as we are about to sit down, he kind of starts to shimmy the zipper down a little bit on his hoodie, kind of like Magic Mike. And he's all like, hey, baby, check out my shirt. Then he opens it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, I can't believe I'm in public with you wearing that fucking shirt. The shirt is so offensive that a lady at the table across from us actually walks over to us, and she says, I find that shirt very offensive, and I must insist that you put your hoodie back on. Now, my guy's like, I'm not feeling chilly. I don't think I'm going to wear my hoodie. Now then, let me show you the shirt. Oh, God.
It is awesome.
Okay.
Up a little higher. Yes, mayonnaise cannon.
It says mayonnaise cannon.
It's an awesome shirt.
The shirt says mayonnaise cannon, and he's wearing it in public. Mayonnaise cannon. So this lady at the restaurant is all, oh, God, just cover up. And when he refuses, she looks at me and she says, can't you make him put that on? How do you feel sitting here with him? Now, nobody's going to come at me about my guy. I mean, I will take them down. So now I have to make a stand for a fucking mayonnaise cannon t-shirt. So I have to get up on my little soapbox and say, my man can wear whatever he wants, and if you don't like it, don't look at it. Well, she was so offended by the shirt that she goes to the manager. Now, the manager is a friend of ours because we go to this diner fairly frequently. It's just our breakfast spot, and we know the guy, so he comes over, and he's sympathetic to us, and he's like, come on, guys, could you just put the hoodie on? And I'm back on my soapbox, and I'm saying, no. This is freedom of expression. My husband can wear whatever he wants. And the manager says...
We were talking about freedom of speech. It might as well have been like gun rights and right to protest. I pulled it all out.
Horrible. So the manager goes, look, guys, how about I just... If you put the hoodie on, how about I buy your breakfast? And I say, no, that won't do it all because you are infringing upon our rights to whatever. So he goes, okay, now here's the thing about this particular diner. They had a bakery, and they baked fresh from scratch every day. That's one of the reasons I liked going there, because you could get these fresh baked cookies. And he goes, all right, well, how about I buy your breakfast and I'll give you a bag of cookies? And I go, cookies, huh? He's like, yeah. And I go, right out of the oven cookies? He goes, yes. I go, chocolate chip cookies? And he goes, yes. And then I look at my guy and I go, put your hoodie on, baby. Mama wants cookies.
Yeah, exactly. I got overruled by cookies. He knew how to win you over, though.
Yeah, well, if you ever want to, buy out my principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, cookies. So
cookies are bourbon.
take a good long look at it, y'all, because you're never going to see this shirt again.
Oh, it's coming out, all right.
Because immediately following this episode, I'm going to set it on fire.
You've been saying that for almost 8 years
Well, you
now.
keep hiding it on me. I
do.
can't.
You got to read the chat.
All right, so what have we got going on? Bashful the Roundtable says, I love that shirt.
Hey, Bashful, how you doing?
Ginger, I have one that says he loves the cock with an arrow pointing to the left. Oh, nice.
That is perfect.
At least it wasn't a Miracle Whip cannon. Recycle, dude.
That's actually hysterical. And Mudcon just popped in.
Oh, well, hello, Mudcon. Wait, we've got one from William who says, I have one that says there's a fucking asshole looking at me now on the front and then on the back. Yep, still looking at me.
That's awesome.
Stacy Morgan, thank you for saying so. It's not one of my proudest moments, but a few things are.
Yeah. How is Stacy, by the way? If you haven't seen his wall, he's got an awesome wall of creators. Go out to his channel, take a look what he does. He's doing the work to kind of get names of a lot of creators out there. It's very cool.
Oh, very nice.
Cool project
Yeah.
to what he's doing.
Fred is going to Amazon and he's going to buy one.
You know what? I swear to God, I think I picked it up on Amazon. No, not Amazon.
I don't know how this came into our lives, but...
Oh, remember I was in the band with Daryl?
Oh, my God,
and
that's
we
right.
actually we thought we came up with the term mayonnaise can.
That's right. Weren't you, like, going to put it in a song or something?
No, we're not that kind of morons.
Come on.
But we were talking about it at rehearsal and used the term mayonnaise can, and I thought it was just the funniest thing. I go, I'm going to look up to see if there's actually a T-shirt out there that already exists that says mayonnaise cannon, and voila, it was there.
You found the mayonnaise
I
cannon.
found the mayonnaise cannon T-shirt. So if you do the same, if you just look up mayonnaise cannon T-shirt, I know that it existed roughly 8 years ago. I don't know if it's still out there, but
I'm sure somebody has one somewhere.
I believe it was on Teespring, if I recall.
Or you can make your own.
Yeah. Cannon, a little mayonnaise, big fonts, and then make sure you bring a hoodie with you in case you need it.
Hey, who is the one who had the guy who blew up the car? I mean, let's make an actual mayonnaise cannon, like to shoot off.
Well,
And not
that guy would
in
actually
the
do it.
proverbial sense. I mean, Sparkle Supreme Queen, cheers to you. Thanks for being here tonight.
Cheers, Sparkles. This is good larceny tonight.
Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Juliette Miranda, do you still occasionally wear any band shirts? Very rarely, in fact. I've never been a huge kind of band t-shirt girl, just not my style. Although I do on occasion wear podcast t-shirts.
Yeah.
And some YouTube channels. If there's a channel that I really dig, I will on occasion wear shirts. So it just kind of depends, on my mood.
Yep, and you have, I think the only band T-shirt I've ever seen you wear was Black Crowes.
I have a Beatles t-shirt too.
Oh, you did have a Beatles T-shirt.
Yeah, but that was
That's
more
right.
of like a vintage thing. That was,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Fred found one on eBay. Everybody.
Isn't that awesome? Run to eBay, mayonnaise cannon. You know what? The guy is going to get this. Oh, he's going to get a residual check for like $40,000.
Yeah.
And go, who resurrected the mayonnaise cannon
I want in
shirt?
on that because I feel like we're owed residuals off of that.
Hashtag mayonnaise canyon. Or cannon, sorry.
Hashtag
Canyon.
mayonnaise cannon.
Yeah.
Hashtag mayonnaise cabin.
Cabin.
Hashtag mayonnaise cannon. Hashtag bourbon soaked live, y'all. Let's make this happen.
That's weird.
And Ginger actually has an idea. She says what you do, empty mayonnaise container with vanilla pudding and eat it in front of people. That's disgusting.
I think that's
That
awesome.
is so vile. Although if you look, I'm sure I've seen it on YouTube. There's some guy who actually will eat mayonnaise on
wait,
camera.
I saw a video of a woman who ate 28 jars in a row as a world record. 28 jars of mayonnaise.
What kind of human being is she? I mean, who does that?
And this woman was, you would think a woman that would eat 28 jars
Was
of
her
mayonnaise.
nickname Lardass?
No, she was a very thin woman.
Well, I'm sure she purged following that because, oh, God.
That's
Oh, that
gross.
is so foul. I mean, I like mayonnaise. Don't get me wrong, but You know, just like a little bit on a sandwich. I don't need a whole fucking cabin of it.
I know. It was pretty weird.
Oh, that's so gross. And on that note, y'all, I don't know, are we done here?
Your call. Your call. You want to talk about what's coming up next week?
I would love to because it's very cool. We've got two of our friends joining us next week. We have Scott and Bart from the Scotch Test Dummies who are going to be hanging out with me. Now, don't worry, y'all. This is actually going to be a really fun episode. We're not going to be doing a traditional interview. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be sharing stories about bourbon and whiskey and drinking. And it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to talk to them. They are so much fun. So come prepared to share the very first story you have about your first taste of liquor. Because seriously, we all have one of those stories, and I know mine is pretty crazy. So that's what we'll be doing next Monday night at 7 p.m. And did I see Jerry in here?
Jerry from Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
Jerry from Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
Which, by the way, for anyone that has not heard that podcast,
Bad Cop is seriously my favorite podcast right now.
Yeah.
It just is. These guys are hysterical. They're very topical, very smart ass, but cool. I like the show.
Yep. And they don't like paper straws. I don't know what the deal is there, but it's...
I hate paper straws. You know what straws are good for? Killing turtles. And do you know what dead turtles are good for? Turtle soup.
Exactly.
Just saying. Oh, Richie Z says he still wears his Thin Lizzy Black Rose shirt on occasion.
Classic band. Can't go wrong with that.
Good stuff there. And Jerry says we're making him blush. Jerry, you should have been here earlier.
Yeah. Jerry says not really. Jerry doesn't give a shit.
No, Jerry gives zero shits, which is why we love him. Oh, my producer's falling
Jenny, was kind enough to put in there a link to your podcast.
She is the best. What would we do without you, Jenny? Seriously,
Jenny
you take care of us every
is an
episode.
Awesome mod. She's great.
Yes. And now that I have loved on everybody, let me send some thank yous out to Wes for being here, to Ginger, Fred, Recycle Dude. What is going on? Oh, Jerry, we have something to show you. David is so proud of this. It's a mayonnaise cannon t-shirt.
That's right. And I'm going to pick one up for both you and Dave for Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
Oh, if there's anybody who needs a mayonnaise cannon t-shirt, it's definitely them.
Richie says Scott and Bart, awesome.
Ghost Mafia's been lurking. Oh, dude, why didn't you join us?
Hey, Mr. Mafia. And he just moved into his new home. Ghost
that's
has got
right.
a new
That's
place.
right. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, Ghost.
Well, thanks
awesome
for
as
hanging
always.
out with us. And, oh, by the way, Wes dares you to get on camera and eat a stick of butter, producer.
Stick of butter. Ew, I don't like...
That's
no,
disgusting.
that's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, I'll eat a lot of exotic things, but just, eating things for the sake of volume, like butter.
No, that's
not
nasty.
gonna happen.
Although we did eat chicken feet once.
Well, we wanted to try it just to see what it would taste like, and that's the last time I eat that.
Oh, it was foul. It was so foul. I get it.
Tastes like a bag of ass.
You didn't
hated
even
that.
recognize my joke.
What, you said a joke?
Yes.
What was your joke?
I said it was foul.
Ugh.
That's what we do here at Bourbon Soaked Live. And on that note, I'm getting the hell out of here, y'all. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Monday night, 7 p.m. We are here with Bourbon Soaked Live. I hope you will join us next week and every Monday after that. And until then, cheers, y'all.